You wake up, another day, but something feels heavy. There's a weight on your chest that wasn't there in your dreams. It's that voice, that persistent, nagging voice that tells you you're not enough, that whispers your failures, that replays your embarrassments like a broken record. Welcome. Today, we're going to do something different. Today, we're going to wage war on negativity. Not the negativity around you, but the negativity within you. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The biggest source of negativity in your life isn't your circumstances, your job, or the people around you. It's you. And if you have the power to create that negativity, you have the power to eliminate it.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you caught yourself in a negative thought spiral? Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it's happening right now as you listen to this. You made a small mistake at work, and suddenly your brain is telling you you're incompetent. Someone didn't text you back, and you've already written the story about how nobody cares about you. You looked in the mirror and spent 10 minutes cataloging everything wrong with your appearance. This is the negativity trap. And it's not your fault that you fall into it. Your brain is literally wired for negativity. Scientists call it the negativity bias. Your ancestors who worried about the rustling bush survived. The optimistic ones who ignored it, they became lunch. But here's what you need to understand. You are not living in the savannah anymore. That mental software that kept your ancestors alive is now keeping you imprisoned. It's making you see threats where there are opportunities. It's making you focus on the one criticism instead of the 10 compliments. It's making you relive past failures instead of imagining future victories. And the worst part? Negativity is a habit. Every time you indulge a negative thought, you're strengthening that neural pathway. You're literally training your brain to be negative. You're becoming a master at something that's destroying your life. But habits can be broken. Neural pathways can be rewired. And today is the day you start.
Before we talk about elimination, let's talk about cost. Because if you don't understand what negativity is costing you, you won't have the motivation to change. Negativity is stealing your energy. Every negative thought is a leak in your battery. Think about how exhausted you feel after a day of worrying, complaining, or dwelling on problems. You didn't run a marathon. You didn't dig a ditch, but you're drained. That's because negativity is expensive. It costs you vitality, creativity, and life force. Negativity is poisoning your relationships. People can feel your energy. When you're constantly negative, you become an emotional vampire. You drain the people around you, and slowly, imperceptibly, they start to distance themselves. Not because they don't care about you, but because they need to protect their own peace. Negativity is blocking your success. You know why you haven't started that business? Why you haven't applied for that position? Why you haven't asked that person out? It's not because you can't. It's because your negativity has convinced you that you'll fail. So you don't even try. And you call it being realistic. But it's not realism. It's fear wearing a disguise. Negativity is robbing you of joy. Right now, there are beautiful things happening in your life, but you can't see them because you're focused on what's wrong. You have health, but you focus on the weight you want to lose. You have people who love you, but you focus on the one person who doesn't. You have opportunities, but you focus on the ones that didn't work out. This is what negativity costs you. Everything. It costs you everything.
Now let's talk about elimination. Not management, not reduction, elimination. Step 1, awareness without judgment. You cannot eliminate what you don't acknowledge. Start catching yourself in negative thoughts. But here's the key, don't judge yourself for having them. The moment you think, I'm so negative, I'm such a terrible person, you've just added more negativity to the pile. Instead, simply notice, oh, there's a negative thought. Like you're a scientist observing data. No drama, no story, just awareness. Step 2, interrupt the pattern. The moment you catch a negative thought, interrupt it physically. Snap your fingers, clap your hands, change your posture, stand up if you're sitting. Your body and mind are connected. When you change your physiology, you change your psychology. Then ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Not, is this thought true? Because your brain will always find evidence for why it's true. Ask if it's helping you. Because here's a revolutionary idea. You don't have to think every thought that enters your mind. Step 3. Replace, don't erase. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you just try to stop negative thinking, you'll fail. You need to replace negative thoughts with different thoughts, not necessarily positive thoughts that can feel fake. Just different thoughts, neutral thoughts, empowering questions. Instead of, I'm gonna fail, ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of, nobody likes me, ask, who can I reach out to today? Instead of, this is impossible, ask, what's one small step I can take? Step 4, control your inputs. You are the average of what you consume. If you're consuming news that makes you anxious, social media that makes you envious, and conversations that make you cynical, you cannot expect to feel positive. Audit your inputs ruthlessly. What are you watching? What are you reading? Who are you spending time with? What music are you listening to? Every input is either feeding your negativity or starving it. Choose wisely. Step 5, build the opposite muscle. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity, but not fake gratitude, not toxic positivity, real gratitude, specific gratitude. Every day, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Not, I'm grateful for my family. That's too vague. I'm grateful for the way my daughter laughed at my terrible joke this morning. That's specific. That's real. That creates new neural pathways. Step 6, reframe your past. You can't change what happened to you, but you can change what you make it mean. Every failure can be reframed as a lesson. Every rejection can be reframed as redirection. Every painful experience can be reframed as a strengthening. This isn't denying reality. This is choosing which part of reality to focus on. The facts don't change, but the story you tell about the facts, that changes everything.
Encouraging. Let me be honest with you. This isn't easy. Eliminating negativity is one of the hardest things you'll ever do because negativity is comfortable. It's familiar. It's been your companion for years, maybe decades. There will be days when you slip, when you fall back into old patterns, when you spend an hour in a negative thought spiral before you even realize what happened. And your negativity will use that as ammunition. See, you can't change. You've always been this way. But here's what you need to remember. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be better. And better doesn't mean 0 negative thoughts. It means catching yourself faster. It means recovering quicker. It means spending more of your day in a state of peace than in a state of anxiety. You're also going to lose people. Some people in your life are invested in your negativity. Maybe because it makes them feel better about their own lives. Maybe because misery loves company. Maybe because they don't know how to relate to the new, more positive you. Let them go. Not with anger, not with judgment, just with peace. You cannot grow and stay the same. You cannot eliminate negativity and keep feeding negative relationships. And here's the beautiful part. As you eliminate negativity, you create space. Space for new thoughts, new feelings, new people, new opportunities. You become a magnet for what you're putting out. You start attracting circumstances that match your new energy.
Imagine waking up 6 months from now. You open your eyes, and that heavy feeling isn't there. There's no dread, no anxiety, no voice telling you that you're not enough. Instead, there's possibility. There's curiosity. There's a quiet confidence that whatever the day brings, you can handle it. You make a mistake, and instead of spiraling, you simply think, interesting. What can I learn here? Someone criticizes you, and instead of obsessing over it for days, you consider whether it's valid feedback or projection, and then you move on. You look in the mirror, and instead of cataloging flaws, you see a person who's doing their best, a person who's growing, a person who's becoming. This isn't fantasy. This is what happens when you eliminate negativity. You don't become delusional. You don't ignore problems. You don't bypass pain. You just stop making everything harder than it needs to be. You stop being your own worst enemy. You stop fighting a war against yourself and start directing that energy toward building the life you actually want.
So here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Think about one negative thought pattern that's been running your life. Maybe it's about your worth. Maybe it's about your capabilities. Maybe it's about your future. And make a decision. Decide that thought no longer serves you. Decide that today is the day you start the elimination process. Decide that you are more powerful than your programming. Because here's the ultimate truth. Every single person who's ever done anything remarkable had to eliminate their negativity first. They had to stop listening to the voice that said they couldn't. They had to stop focusing on reasons why it wouldn't work. They had to eliminate the negativity to make room for the greatness. You are no different. You have that same power. The only question is, will you use it? The war against negativity starts now, and you were born to win this battle.